Thank you all for being here. I want to thank all these great community leaders standing behind me who came together on very short notice to put out this very important message from not just the city of Phoenix, but community leaders representing all of Phoenix. In addition to those are going to say a few words here in just a moment, I do want to thank my council colleagues who were able to be here, the Vice Mayor, Councilwoman Gallego, Councilman Michael Nowakowski, who chairs our Public Safety Subcommittee. Councilwoman Deborah Stark is with us here today. Iggy Gonzalez, representing the Arizona Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Dr. Ann Hart, our partner and friend, who is the leader of the Maricopa County NAACP. Thank you, Dr. Hart, for all you do and for being here. Sean Pearson, representing Zion Institute and Kingdom Communities of the Valley. Your leadership is appreciated. Our friend Ulian Nabazny, who's an incredible philanthropist and South Phoenix business leader, and serves as a very important leader of a committee looking at building community trust with the police department. Don Logan, who is the head of the Phoenix Equal Opportunity Department, and others who are here. Thank you all for being here on short notice. To start, I, as mayor, representing this council, representing the city, all the people of the city of Phoenix, want to express our deepest condolences to the people of Dallas, the Dallas Police Department, the families of the officers that were killed in the tragedy last night. There are no words to express how awful we feel standing here today. But the important thing is that we are together. Phoenix stands with you, the people of Dallas, the Dallas Police Department, and we are all thinking about the families devastated by this unspeakable and horrific tragedy. As I stated earlier today, the planned protest schedule for this evening outside Phoenix City Hall is not a city-sponsored event. The event's organizers do not require, nor did they ask for a city permit or permission from the city. In our country, you do not need permission from the government to assemble, and I respect that, and we all hold the First Amendment very dear. The police-involved shootings in Louisiana and Minnesota were a shock to me and so many others across this country. And they are not isolated incidents. It's part of a real epidemic that we must work together to resolve, because that is the only way it will be resolved. And nothing, absolutely nothing, justifies the heinous murder of police officers. There is a painful but very critical national discussion that is happening regarding the relationship between police and the communities that they serve. That's a conversation we're having right here in Phoenix. Not just today, not just after Ferguson, but for many years now. Those conversations have produced results and helped to build a stronger foundation of trust between the city, our police department, and the community we serve. We don't always get it right, but in Phoenix, we take that community trust very seriously, and we're always, always striving to improve. Just a few examples. We've enhanced our training for police officers with a renewed emphasis on de-escalation. Just last week, United States Attorney General Loretta Lynch was in Phoenix to observe that training, our training techniques, in order to serve as best practices for other departments taking part of the President's Task Force on 21st Century Policing. Another example, the Community Police Trust Initiative, led by community members like Uli Nabazny, who's with us here today. That initiative has developed a host of recommendations to enhance police-community relations, and they're going to be hosting a series of additional community meetings to take input from this community about other ideas about how this department, this city, can better build trust with our community. And in our most recent budget, we approved a plan to outfit all of our patrol officers with body cameras over the next few years. Jeremy Helfgott will be talking just a few moments about a hotline that's been set up to help community residents that may be struggling with feelings or anger or angst, and if they want to talk to someone, a professional counselor, we at the city are going to be able to provide that for our community. I've said many times how proud I am of our city, that we are a welcoming and diverse community. That diversity, our diversity, is our greatest strength as a city. But what this week has exposed is a divide here and around the country that cannot be ignored. We, together, have to find a way to heal our country and move forward. Everything depends on that success. Next to the podium to say a few words is someone I admire greatly. I have a chance to work with him on a day-to-day basis, someone that takes police community trust very, very seriously. It's the highest order, highest priority for him as chief of our department, Chief Joe Yonner. Chief.
Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate it. Good afternoon. I'm going to echo a lot of the things what the mayor said. He was right on point. First and foremost, our hearts go out to the Dallas Police Department, the injured officers, their families, the Dallas community. The experience that they had last night was just horrific. It shocked the world, I think. It shocked our country, and it shocked us here in Phoenix. And that is significant. That was a huge event. As soon as that occurred, we started putting information out to our police officers to make sure that their awareness was heightened, to make sure that they were safe and that we're keeping you safe and our community safe. We also, I specifically and others, reached out to a lot of the community leaders that are behind us today, and that is extremely important. We have relationships with our community members. Phoenix Police Department has engaged in community-based policing, has a community relations bureau. We do a lot of things and interact with our community. So it was nice to have the rapport with a lot of the members of the community that are behind us so that we can work together through this issue. As the mayor pointed out, this is an issue that is not just police and community, it's us together. And we have to figure out how we get through it, and we will. I'm very confident that we will. As far as the safety of Phoenix, our Homeland Defense Bureau is doing everything they can to gather information to ensure that an incident doesn't happen here. We have an event planned tonight, and we're very concerned about it. We're going to have adequate police officers out there, and we're going to ensure the safety of this community. That is always our goal, and that's something we're going to work very hard on today and tonight and through the week. Some of the things that we've enhanced, the mayor talked about them. In this last year, we've given all our police officers at least 40 hours of training. They all attended a module where they had ethics training, where they had use of force training, where they had de-escalation training. We've really enhanced training on the Phoenix Police Department in the last 18 months. We're going to continue to do that. We also engaged in the city manager created a community and police trust initiative. And that group, and Julian Nabazi and Carol Coles-Henry chaired that group, did a great job. Community and Police Trust Initiative. They came up with 15 recommendations. We are working through those recommendations as we speak so that we have better trust with our community. You know, the bottom line here is these are significant events. We are Phoenix, Arizona. We have a relationship with our community, and our community has a relationship with our police department. That doesn't mean we can't improve. That doesn't mean we're going to not have any issues. We're going to have issues. We're the 6th largest city in the United States. But together, we can work through those issues. Our goal is that people can protest. They can walk the streets, and they have their First Amendment rights, and we're going to ensure that they have those rights. But we have to do it safe, we have to do it smart, and we don't want anybody to get hurt. So as we move forward, that's my message. For anything that happens tonight, tomorrow, next week, let's be safe. Exercise your rights, we'll protect them, and we'll try to do our best to keep you safe. So thank you very much. Next up to the podium is Pastor Warren Stewart.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Chief. In light of the horrific deaths of 7 people this past week, we stand together. We stand shocked. We stand grieved. But we stand willing to work together. That's the reason that after prayerful discussion, I recommended to our chief this morning that we have a press conference to show that Phoenix stands together. We have our disagreements, we have our agreements, but we stand together, and we will do everything within our power and with the help of God that what happened in Louisiana, what happened in Minnesota, what happened in Dallas would not happen here. And so we urge all people to come together and remember that we are all made in the image and likeness of God. And that Jesus even said put away your sword, for the one who takes the sword will perish by the sword. Martin Luther King Jr., who died himself by violence, said violence begets violence. And so I'm just here to encourage all of us, to our city, our valley, our mayor, our council members, our community members, my brothers and sisters who are hurting. People are hurting. What we saw on the television in Louisiana and in Minnesota was shocking. It was unbelievable. It has caused warranted anger, as well as what happened last night in Dallas. Terrible. None of it has been justified. So as I close, I simply say again to all of us, we stand together. We will hold this city together. We will work out our differences together and try to bring an end to this, to some of the consequences of systemic racism that affects millions upon millions of people on a daily basis. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pastor, so very much for being here. This is your idea, your leadership now and for so many years to make this city a better place. Next up to the podium is the chair of the Phoenix Human Relations Commission, Jeremy Helfgott.
Thank you very much, Mayor Stanton, Chief Yonner, Pastor Stewart. I want to echo what the pastor just said because we are hearing it from our community. We know that we have members of our community who have seen difficult images, heard difficult stories, and been through what's really a collective community trauma for our entire nation over the past several days. Yesterday, a request was made of the city to help marshal resources to provide counseling resources for individuals who feel like they may need it. And I want to share that information with you now. Our partner, Mercy Maricopa Integrated Care, is the Regional Behavioral Health Authority for Maricopa County. In times of tragedy, they put up and staff a special hotline for individuals who do need support. That number is 1-800-203-CARE. It's 800-203-2273. This number has been activated since this morning, and there will also be this information posted at www.crisisnetwork.org. Again, that's www.crisisnetwork.org. I would encourage anyone in the community who feels the need to express their feelings, who needs an outlet to share their pain, share their frustration, or if you know anyone who is in need, please share this information. Please do not be afraid to call. We know that there are positive outlets for our feelings. Violence is not the answer. I do want to say for the past 2 years, the Phoenix Commission on Human Relations has been working with the Phoenix Police Department and with our community. We're working at bridging the gaps that exist. We know that there are concerns. We know that there are individuals in the community who do have fears. And I just want to say that we will be here continuing to represent the community to make sure that the voices of our wonderfully diverse Phoenix community are heard and represented, and to ensure that anybody who does have a concern has a body that the public can come to and have those concerns heard. I thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Jeremy, for those comments, your suggestion that we set up the hotline. Next to the podium, representing the Arizona Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, is Monica Villalobos.
Thank you, Mayor Stanton, and to all the community leaders here for really pushing forward and advocating for a peaceful assembly. On behalf of the Arizona Hispanic Chamber, I want to encourage the entire state to stand as a beacon of hope. Understand that we are more alike than different. I want to echo U.S. Attorney General Loretta Lynch's comments. Reaction should be calm, peaceful, but determined, not violent. As a Latina, I understand all too well what it feels like to be targeted, but we must rise above it and prove that we are better than violence. As a mother, I understand the critical role that we play in the lives of our children, and we must rise above it and demonstrate to our children that we are better than violence. As a resident of Arizona, I understand that while we have many barriers to overcome in understanding the importance of diversity, we must rise above it and prove to the rest of the nation that we can lead in these trying and difficult times. We can and we must be true to our values, but we must also rise above the difficult circumstances in which we find ourselves today, because we are better than violence. I invite you to peacefully commit to nonviolence. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Monica. That's all of the formal speakers that we'll have here today. Obviously, we have many of our top community leaders here with us today who came here on very short notice, so I owe you a huge debt of gratitude.